But we're gonna do something I don't necessarily like to do on this show a whole lot, and that's talk about stuff that is terrible. Not like Dokkan's terrible, the content sucks. Like
Good transition.
Like not Moon Napa medals.
Like this is actually terrible for the community as a whole. Not because of mods, but because of something else. But we'll get into it. So if you guys have not heard, in Japan, update 4.12.0 introduced SafetyNet to Dokkan. And Thieving 6, the guy behind Dokkan, made a Reddit post the other day kind of talking about what it means and how this affects a lot of things, including Dokkan. This update is coming in November. Keep that in mind. So don't know if it's early November, mid-November, late November. So you guys have about a month. If you are using mods, bots, any non-official way to play the game, including emulators, get an official copy of the game, move your account over to it now, or else you're going to lose it. Unless you're linked to like Facebook or whatever. So I'm not going to go through and read line by line. If you guys want that, there have been plenty of YouTubers that have gone and read line by line everything that's in this. I'm going to highlight a couple of very important things, and we're going to discuss those things. Basically, what this does is prevents you from modifying the game or playing a modified APK of the game. It checks to make sure that everything you're doing is legitimate, and it reports it to Google and the server, and there's basically no way around it. This means things like emulators. So if you are playing on Nox, BlueStacks, Mimo, or whatever the hell it's called, any of those Android emulators that you can get on PC for free, you will no longer be able to play this game. If you are a content creator that the only way that you can record your game screen that you know of is through an emulator, you need to find another way, because you're not going to be able to create content anymore. Like, people want to talk about the mods and things, that's fine. Mods, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, mods are a detriment to the community and to the longevity of the game. Do you guys agree or disagree with that statement?
100%
No,
agree.
I agree as well. I don't think anybody should be modding the game.
Now, that being said, I have used the mods, I have used the bots, I have played around, never on my main account, blah, 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 blah. They're a lot of fun. I love it. I love how creative this community is. I love how creative the modding community is. But at the end of the day, it does violate terms of service. It is against their rules, and they are now enforcing those rules. Yes, it sucks. It really does. But at the same time, it is a massive step forward for the health and longevity of this game, especially taking into account that they're talking about multiplayer content coming into the game, whether it be PvP, which please God no, or through some form of co-op. I mean, we would need anti-cheat in order to make stable multiplayer environments. It's just how it works. So it's not just good for the bottom line of Akatsuki. It's not just good for the longevity of the game, but it's a very promising thing to see in the sense that we might actually be getting multiplayer content, and this is a huge step towards that.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's all the fun stuff out of the way. But what it comes down to now, guys, no more bots, no more farmed accounts,
No more friend mirrors.
no more mods. No more playing JP Dokkan outside of unless you have like the actual like JP device.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, maybe through a VPN. I don't know. I'm not that technically savvy. But my understanding is that any modified APK can now get your account banned.
Yeah.
So jumping in here, this is again Thieving 6 wrote this on Reddit, and I will link this article here in chat as well as in the description below when we put this on YouTube. So just to be clear, if the Dokkan server doesn't like what it received for the attestation response, it can take one of the following options: not allow you to log in, ban your account, ban your device, mark your account for a later ban wave, or do nothing. Currently, on JP, they are doing nothing. That doesn't mean they're going to continue to do nothing. I want to stress that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So he continues on with, which leaves us with, Dokkan is currently doing nothing. Even if you sent no device token when you log in, or you send an invalid one or a non-passing one. I have a few guesses as to what they are doing. They haven't yet completed the server-side validation programming of the attestation response. They are collecting a list that are not sending a valid attestation response for reasons such as maybe a later ban wave. Or they're collecting information on how much money modded APK users spend to best determine a future course of action. For example, if a modding group doesn't spend money, ban. But if the modding group generally spends money, they might ignore it. This is a little bit of the cynical corporate kind of aspect of it, which is kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I almost think they're doing number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Like, they're trying to decide whether or not they want to ban based off of how much money is being spent or not spent, is what I think. I have no inside Bandai or Akatsuki contacts that I talk to. I'm nobody special, you know. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that particular aspect? If this is a money thing, or if you think it's more they're just trying to take control of their environment?
There's always the thing where the saying goes, money talks. If you're spending money in the game, more than likely, devs are going to see that and they're going to, no matter what, in general. Like, and I hate to make it a real world thing, but we all know how money works. It's a very dark thing to talk about because of the implications that what money can do.
Mm-hmm.
But in a small instance like this, it would make sense for Dokkan to be like, okay, we're going to ban any future use of modded APKs. You guys have to download the regular game and put your account on that game. If your account is the one that's putting in money, then we're going to ignore any bad transgressions that you've had before. And that would make sense. It really would. I'm not saying that, the people who actually modded the game, but we also have to take into account this counts for emulators and people playing on emulators because they flagged those. There were people who were only using emulators that were getting banned during world tournaments because of that. Am I saying that, that was for everybody? No, because I used an emulator a lot when I would do my streams. I truly, truly think that they're going to make it all about the money, which is neither a good or a bad thing. It's dependent on who you are. Like, for me, it's a great thing because me using the emulator, I'm pretty sure I flagged as an emulator, but I put so much money into the game, they're not going to touch me, because I'm giving them money. So, for others, I don't know.
Okay, so the Beast9787 asks, will I as an emulator user be banned or unable to play? That is a possibility.
It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, I cannot say one way or another that is going to happen. But I can tell you from my personal experience that they will not assist you in recovering an account if it has been used on an emulator. So, for those of you who are new, I'm sure the people who've been hanging out here for a while have heard this story. I used to have an account, played it for 3.5 years, spent thousands of dollars. Christmas Day of 2018, I wake up, my account's transferred, try to figure it out. I think somebody hacked my Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Try to get a hold of Bandai, Akatsuki, whatever, to start that account recovery thing. And they respond with, our records indicate that you have used your account on an emulator, which at the time I was because I was streaming with an emulator. And because of that, they refused to assist me in getting my account back.
Wow.
So I actually quit playing until like 6 months later at like the 4-year anniversary is when I finally came back. But they will not screw around. I'm letting you know that if they're going to make a decision one way or the other about how this is going to go, they're going to make it and they're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So if you are using an emulator as your only access to this game and you have a device that you can download Dokkan onto, I would suggest doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Start buying stones.
Also, remember too, and this is something I found out because I never had a Chromebook. You can download Dokkan Battle on your Chromebook.
Yep.
There's a safe thing right there. Get it on Chromebook, your tablet, whatever. Just get it done.
I mean, I think I spent just under or just over. It was right around $200 on my Chromebook, which mostly now sits and collects dust. But if that was my only option, that's what I would use.
Yeah.
Is QApp considered an emulator? Technically, I believe it's just another storefront.
It's just an app store, so no, it's not considered an emulator.
So
literally with QApp, what's going on is that it's basically taking the information from the Japanese iOS and Android stores and it's transferring it to QApp, which is an English distributor. So no, it's not considered an emulator.
Now, whether or not you're getting modified APKs through them to make it so it can run in your region, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think QApp can do that.
I don't know.
I don't think they do unlicensed.
Okay. Yeah.
APKs.
See, I don't know enough about it. So I don't know if they're using actual APKs, because I know like if you try to run just straight up the Japanese APK on an American phone, it comes up with something that basically says you can't play.
Yeah. No, you have to have the QApp with it, and the reason why is because the QApp is the registered Play Store for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, the QApp doesn't hold any APK or modded APKs from my understanding.
Okay.
I only know because that's where I download my Danmachi and all that stuff.
Is there a way to safely play Dokkan without a phone or Chromebook day of the update? No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Short answer, no. Long answer, no.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not really a whole lot anyone can do about it. So just prepare yourselves. I mean, I would say, I don't know. We don't even know what time or what day the update is coming. Obviously, we will let you guys know as soon as we know. You can follow us on Discord, and Dr. Namor is really good about putting that stuff in the Dokkan news section. So you'll have as much advance notice as you can possibly get by following on the Discord and checking out that section. But that's the best we can really offer you as far as like how long can you play the game before it's potentially not safe to play it on your device anymore. I mean, you've probably got less than a month. So I would figure out either how to get yourself a cheap phone that just runs off of Wi-Fi, doesn't have a plan, like maybe buy a used phone off of eBay, or maybe it might be cheaper to maybe buy a Chromebook. But that's what I would be looking into if you guys wanted to keep that game. But I hate telling people that you don't have an option. It's the reason I quit banking, because everyone kept telling me you have to tell them no, and I hate telling people no. But yeah. The reality is that in less than a month, most likely, you guys that are stuck playing on emulators with no other option could potentially be banned at any point in time. Yeah, you could do it with a phone that only has Wi-Fi. Yeah, you don't have to have a phone with a plan. You can buy a phone that doesn't have service on it. Just so long as you can connect it to the internet through your local home network, you can still play the game. So it's not like you have to invest like hundreds of dollars a month for a phone and a plan and all this other stuff. Like I said, you can find a cheap phone on eBay and just do that.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely, but maybe we'll get some kind of an additional port to the game. I don't know. I doubt it though.
Switch port.
Why not? They're putting everything on Switch anyway, and it's already got touchscreen.
Right? I mean, hell, we're already getting a gacha game and Genshin Impact on the Switch. That's number 3.
Wow.
Hey, 3 times the charm, man.
Yep.
So.
But no, I could see a Switch port. That'd be cool.
Like, I have, and this is, I don't know if this sounds terrible or not, but I have zero empathy for people who have been using mods and bots to cheat that lose their accounts over this. I have nothing but empathy for the community of small creators that this is going to destroy.
Facts.
Yep.
That's the shitty thing, is that, you know, while this is a great thing for like getting rid of the whole modded community in general, you know, nothing against some of them, they're probably personally great people, but facts are facts. The mods were kind of, you know, not good.
Yeah.
But, you know, us content creators, you know, that the only way that we could do it is through an emulator. You know, and me and Alec were talking about it. Like, for me, I could only stream through an emulator at the time unless I upgraded my phone. So I'll end up upgrading my phone. So,
well, I mean, there are some other options. There's an app that Ox was telling us about. I believe it's called Screen Copy.
Yeah.
I used one on my phone for a while called Screen Stream Mirror Pro or something like that. It's like a $5 app. It just lets you, you know, broadcast your phone to a website basically, so then you can capture it that way. There's ways you can do it without a capture card. You'll have to do some research on it. I mean, we can try to add a section in the Discord over the next week or two talking about what options that creators have. Maybe we'll talk about it next week on the show. I don't know. I haven't started writing the show notes yet. But it is something that where if you are a creator, or if you're even somebody who's casually playing the game, you're not even a content creator, and your only option is an emulator, I feel absolutely horrible for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you are unfortunate victims in something that absolutely had to be done. You know, in order for this game to make it past 6, 7, 8 years, which I don't know what their game plan is, but I'm assuming by adding SafetyNet 5 years into the life cycle of the game that they're probably planning on at least 5 more years.
Yeah.
You know, but this was an absolute requirement for the longevity of the game as a whole. And the really unfortunate side effect is going to be the loss of a lot of creators and a lot of players who have no other option but to use an emulator. So hopefully they'll have a little bit of leniency there, but I would no longer suggest anybody use an emulator or any kind of modded APK.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Test.
Get those bots out of here! Get them out!
That was fitting. We ban a bot as we're talking about bots.
Yeah. Get those bots and mods out of there.
Poetic justice.
But yeah, so any closing thoughts on this from you guys? Chat, do you guys have any questions? Anything that you're absolutely worried about at this moment that we might be able to help you guys out with?
My Twitch career is over. No, I'm kidding.
Honestly, you were one of the first people that I thought about when I read that.
Aw, well,
like,
I'm glad that I was even a thought, man. No, I'm kidding.
So,
no,
like,
it's not even that. Like, I used to screencast all the time. The only problem was that for me, with the specific way that mine worked, also Dragon Balls. Just saying. No. In all seriousness. I used to do this thing where I could cast screen from my phone straight to like my PC. The only problem is, and that's why I stopped doing it, was the audio was always so far behind that I just was like, well, this is boring.
That's why you mute the audio and you just lay music.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I do like to still play Dokkan genuinely, like with the soundtrack.
Do you
like,
really play it with the sound on?
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm not the only one. Okay, good.
I have legitimately not turned the sound on in my Dokkan in like 3.5 years.
What? The new,
I mean, if
the
it's
new
something that I have to
soundtracks are
stop
fire.
doing, something that I have to stop doing that way, I don't care.
I listen to the OSTs. Like,
Okay.
I do. I listen to the OSTs. I mean, I love the Jiren OST. It's probably my favorite right now, which is why it's the intro to the podcast. right now. But
Listen.
I don't play the game with the sound on.
Alex,
Which is fair.
don't you want to hear?
No, that song actually bothers the fucking hell out of me.
Are we what? Is that Lost in Space?
You know what song is worse than that one, in all honesty? The fucking one before you just log in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this song specifically just has to go. I'm fine with the rest, but that song in specific,
Cloud21
dude.
says, closing thought. It's Amazon Prime Day today, and now we need an actual device to play Dokkan. Coincidence? I think not.
So literally me about a half hour ago would have said, don't remind me it's Prime Day because I work for Amazon, but your boy got a freaking VTO text message, so he doesn't have to go into work today.
Let's go.
Nice. So
Yeah.
the Beast
They can play
9787
Genshin with me, dude. 4th time. Let's go.
Let's go!
So the Beast 9787 says, does BlueStacks appear as a phone to Dokkan? In the settings it says that it is a OnePlus 3T. My understanding is that SafetyNet will know if you're using an emulator.
Yeah, they will 100%. If it's done if it's done through Google, they'll know.
Like,
that's just a given at that point. Google is a bunch of smart motherfuckers when it comes to things like this.
Right.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there.
Google knows
and
all.
Trevor says Amazon doesn't count either. Yeah, Amazon doesn't make Google devices. They don't use Google as their operating system, so I don't think you can transfer that way either. They also don't use Apple's iOS as their operating system either.
No.
Alexa, farm my Dokkan account. Okay, farming Dokkan account.
Imagine it was that easy.
You know what? I play Skyrim on that. Okay, just back off.
I'm done.
Like seriously, go tell her to enable the skill Skyrim Deluxe Edition or Special Edition or something like that. It is a voice adventure chat, and this was after I had my my leg surgery last year. I laid on the couch one day for like 6 hours playing this stupid game, just yelling across the room to my fucking Alexa.
Skyrim's amazing, man.
Alexa, kill Archer.
Alexa,
killing Archer.
Fusro da.
Okay, Fusro da.
It's really kind of close to that a little bit.
I work for Amazon. I worked really hard on my Amazon Alexa voice. So
Comedy Vegas, thanks for making my Alexa go crazy. Alexa, play Despacito. I just triggered mine.
Alex,
Anyway.
I'm gonna move the ass in my direction.
All right, so yeah, I mean, we're having a lot of laughs here and everything, but
the measure is still serious.
yeah.
All right, real faces on.
No, you're fine. But like seriously, guys, it's a shitty move for a lot of you. I do understand that, but
it had to be done either way.
Sacrifice the few for the sake of the many. Sorry.
You didn't have to say it like that. Dang, dude. I feel attacked. it's like okay, yeah, goodbye, JMo. Didn't want you on here anymore. No, I'm kidding.
JMo volunteered as tribute. So
Right.
No, JMo was voluntold his tribute.
Okay. What is up, my dudes? If you like this clip, be sure to check out the full episode down below in the description. Also in the description below, you can find all of our panelists on Twitch, YouTube, and various social media. Be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell so that you know when the GGP puts up some freshly squeezed content.